break it down. They build it, something. They do something. Let's say builders do something. They measure it. Why? Because if you don't measure anything, you have no business.
Yep.
Everything has to be measured. When I see people not growing but working, I'm like, wait a minute. You're doing the work. Are you measuring? Yeah, I'm measuring. Okay, did you learn? Yeah. Then how can you not be up like this or like this, not like this? I mean, that's most people's career is this. Like up, down, drive recruiting, we drive sales, we go back to recruiting. Okay, I get it. But I want my business I always want to be like this. Like the stock market. So we do things, we measure it. What's measurement in our business? Another form of measurement. Accountability. Yep. It's a number. Here's the thing. Measurement is not a feeling. It's not a thinking. It's what is it? A number. Put your business hat on. It's a number. When you go to an accountant and you talk about your business, you talk about your feelings?
No.
What does he ask you for? Your numbers. When your doctor, he may have feelings, but you want to make sure he has the credentials to do the job, right? So build, measure, learn. So when you leave here, it's like all you gotta do is say, I'm gonna build, I'm gonna do something different. I'm going to measure it so I can adjust, and then I'm going to learn so I can adjust more, and you just keep going through that cycle. I'm telling you, here's the thing. You say, I need to do that. No, true. But what you need to do is teach your people how to do that. Because do you override you? No, you override other people.
Yep.
Build, measure, learn. It's like, listen, this is a highly, I always felt Primerica was a super logical business. When I saw it, I saw the logic of it. I'm like, so when I saw the meeting, I didn't know anything was wrong. But if that was true what they were saying, that makes sense. It was numbers. And then I learned what I really liked about the business was the emotional side of it. See, people are excited here. Not everybody's all. I mean, all people are excited Primerica. Not the ones that make a lot of money. The people are looking for a club, which is fine. A, for positive thinking, like the people. Sure, they're excited. But the people that are excited and think of it like a business, they're making money. Because you can what? Measure it. And the ultimate measuring stick is not just 1 month of income, but is your income moving up, staying up? And what's happening? Has it stay up? Other people's income moves up, staying up. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's it. So if your income's not moving up, staying up, it's because you don't have enough people moving up, staying up, unless you convert to a ability, like say you do the 65 and you make $500,000 on your own. Awesome. Right? I mean, that's the plan. That's a plan. So I would just say the division leader in what we're talking about here is, so when I said to you, we left the districts in there. Why? To create pressure. See, our environment can create pressure in the right places. Because if you're a district leader, and before you say, they're a district leader, bow down to them, stop. Okay? I'm not happy they went to district. Sure. Yes. But that's the first step. Unless you build on it, what do you got? Can you go full-time at district?
No.
No. Why do you want to be full-time? Because the next step is vice president. Right? So people go full-time, they're going to go 2 places. They quit or go to vice president. They never go back. Well, I'll just go back to part-time. They're gone.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big believer in getting a full-time program, and most of you don't have full-timers, right? And so therefore, you have part-timers. So what? If you don't have full-timers and a lot of productive part-timers, you know what you have? You have, honestly, the thing that drives the most good people out of this business is what you got left. You got no-timers or spare-timers. Gosh, you want to just jump off a cliff? Try to have no-timers and spare-timers and try to motivate them to be part-timers. You can go as long and that you'll be out of business.
Thank you.
They'll drive you crazy. So when I say no-timers, I mean what? They do an IBA and you grades you can't find it. Some of you, they might return a call every now and then, but that's bad for you because then you return their call. You think you got somebody. That's a no-timer. And we all have a finite amount of energy, right? So the difference in me and you or anybody else who makes more is they put more of their energy in the place they believe can make them and their family and their team the most money. Simple. And believe in it. All this thing. I'm like, we believe in it. It's not about money. It's not about money. Look, we do the right thing. We all say, well, if you're going to go full time and change your life and save and make money, guess what you need to do? Make some money. I don't apologize to that. You shouldn't either. And if you're not, it's great. It's a hobby, so they got the no time. But the worst person for you is the spare time. Because they do just enough to make you think that they really want to do the business. Right. Then you dump all your energy, oh, you're so great, but the whole time, they're not doing the business. You're spending all your energy helping them do the business, and they're not doing it for whatever reason. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know why. Time out. I don't know. I'm not paid for that. I'm literally, I say that. I was telling guys last night, hundreds of times, they've come in my office and say, I got my problem, I got this issue, I got a problem. I said, no, do you have a physical ailment? Do you have cancer or something like that? They go, that's bad news, right? They go, oh, no. I said, then you don't have a problem. You have an issue. Let's start with what it is. Let's define it. And then they come and say, hey, you know, my wife, I said, time out. Time out. I'm not a marriage counselor. Seriously. I have no understanding of how to keep people's marriage together. I got my own, and it's doing fine. Okay? But, because if you go down that rabbit hole, you are now doing something you're not qualified to do or will get paid to do. Say, but I'm helping, I'm building a relationship. You're not. What they're doing is taking a dump truck. Listen, this is visual. You hear a dump truck, and when you hear it backing up, and they're backing up to your office, or to your son, or to your wife, they go, let me tell you all my problems. And you think, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's how you're not going to be in this business. You don't get paid for that. But I'm building relationships. You're building relationships for people that are what? Working, doing something. Do they have issues? Sure. But they're trying to learn how to what? Build, measure, learn. Awesome. I'm all in. I have complete empathy that you have to change to do this business. I've got no sympathy for why people don't do the business. I mean, really, because I don't need somebody to say, oh, poor baby, I'm so sorry, you can't win. Let me kiss the boo-boo. You know, that's what you guys say when you're talking. It's okay. So time out. You can't. I'm telling you, most of your conversations, unknowing, because I didn't know this, you're doing things that have nothing to do with building a business. Part of the challenge is most people who start do our business have never had a what? Business. Most. And you say, have you had a successful business? Have you had people that you sold the business? You start going blind and say, no, I've done that. I like the business. I thought about being a business. You were an employee. That's not bad, but that's a different mindset. You might have been a manager. If you're a manager, say, I'm a great man. The problem with managers is they have leverage. You don't have leverage. Mm-hmm. What's the leverage managers have? I'll fire you. I'll cut your thing. They can do bad things to you. What's our leverage? The only leverage we do is create more thoughts in their mind in the right way, or people underneath them. That's it. We either create so much conflict that they have to break through because they want to be where we're at or other people they see, or we got people underneath them that do well and we leverage them. That's why if you're a division and the division is not moving, what can you do? Leverage the district underneath them. Mm-hmm. You can't leverage people that don't exist. It's such more powerful. It's like I got one connection, but if I put the second connection on there, I have exponential growth. Right? So if your system is producing districts, then you got a system to grind through. Listen, it's better than not producing districts. Okay with me? All right. So you got 10 districts and somebody has none. Well, then you're obviously better than that. But I'm talking about maximizing the compensation program and teaching your people how to do that. So if I get a district, and that district now, the next question I got is, well, who's underneath that person? So that's it. Because it goes to being an RVP, by the way. And I don't care about the guidelines. Whatever your guidelines are, great. You can do it. Here's what I know. Here's what I know after 38 years. Here's what I know after I didn't lose a replacement till the end. When I say lose, I got great replacements. I gave the best I had, and they got it. And you know what I realized? Is that someone wants to be an RVP, you got to prove ultimately two things. Now, I'm not telling you these are the guidelines. I'm telling you have your own. But I'm telling you these are the two things you have to do. Only two. Prove that you can make money, Because RVPs know how to what? Make money. $1 million? No, start with 50. If you can make 50,000 on your pen, that tells me you have a little discipline, a little focus, you're setting appointments, you're accountable to who? You. Awesome, that's the first step. So you gotta make money. By the way, whatever you make is whatever you're at. When you go to RVP, you'll make more if you understand why you're going to RVP. Beautiful. What's the second thing? A great replacement. What's a replacement? Someone like you. That's what I tell them. So it's replacement and making money. If you can basically get those two things, you have created a perfect environment for you to continue to grow a business, and that person can survive so they can grow a business. Are you with me? And everything else in between I found to be, things. And by the way, if you're into those things, I'm into it. Great, sell it. But I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, great replacement and make money are non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Right. So if they're a division, and so if somebody goes to, how do you get to regional leader? You do more production. And you produce more what? Exactly. My point is, if you're doing this the way it's supposed to be done, is that every time you do something, it builds on the next thing you got to do. It's sequential. Follow me? One, the next. So I go to district. What do I got to do, Bruce? I got to produce districts. That's what I got to do. Because if I produce districts and I'm good at making money as a district, or pretty good, just decent, make a few bucks, I'm not perfect, then I can then be promoted to division, which means I'll make more money. Okay. And if I'm a division, what's the next step after that? Regional. How do I get to regional? Promote more districts. And what do? More volume. If a district leader doesn't increase the volume, you're not doing it right. Right? We don't, it's like the reason you produce a district leader is because at the end of the month, when you look at your next month, there's a chance to have more appointments being set. Is that true? Yeah. Who can set an appointment? Anybody can, but who can go on? Licensed districts. You with me? Yeah. Yep. Nod your head. Yeah. So anyway, so that's why those guys, so hopefully some districts will come to you and say, or if you got a district in their room, you got to go and say, hey, what an awesome meeting. I don't care what you say anybody. You know what it's awesome. Man, you got to get the vision. You got to be in that meeting. That's where the high level players are. So here's one or two things that happen. Either they'll fight like hell to get here or they won't. Either way, it's good for you. Because it teaches you what motivates them, right? Well, I'm going to talk to them all. No. If sitting their tail in the meeting with all the babies doesn't piss them off, they because we are all products of that happening to us. And we want, because it's always, if you're saying, so what's going on in that meeting with the other people make more money, that's how you're driven. So set it up. That's what we're doing here. We're giving you leverage and you go back. Does it work for everybody? Of course not. Will it work for somebody? Oh, yeah. And if you don't target it, you're not going to get it. It may be luck. And what I don't want you to have is a luck-up system. Some people have luck-up systems. I know they have a luck-up system because every 3 months they do more than they did the first month, but then they're back to. So what they do is they're running contests. And look, I like all that, but I'm not here to run contests. I'm using contests to get more districts and people that are promoted to district promote district. Follow me? People going on trips. Love the company trips. Use the company's money all the time. What do you want about the trips? Getting more new people on them. Is that true? I mean, after I went on my first trip, I liked it. Everybody's like, "What? Okay." You're sitting there and say, "Okay, there's nobody with me." And all the people that were kicking ass at that meeting had what? They had people with them, right? They're sitting at the table with all their people, and all the overflow. I'm like, the hell? I got to get me some districts. Now, I say that, but I watch what kind they had, because they were on the contest, and guess what that means? They produced. They were good. Not perfect. There's no perfect, right? You don't want perfection, once again. Don't trust. I need perfection. And then regional leader, and here's the point. Now, it says phase one of any of the guidelines are getting to district. That's phase one. That's what it is. If you're not getting anybody to district, then guess what do you have to work on? What's that? District. How would you, that means? That means every time you're out, somebody's watching you. And after they watch you, I'll give you a hint. Let me help you with something. The most important, listen, this is right over your head. I say it all the time, feel it. Yeah, but the most important thing you can do when you're training someone, which assumes somebody's what? Watching you. If they're not, go beat your head violently against a tree. Seriously. I mean, I close a sale. But, how much? No, who's with you? That's what I want to know. Because if no one's watching you, you're going to be in sales forever. And you're going to get burnt out. Because people get burnt out. They love Primerica, they just don't like doing it.
Right.
Right? I love this business, I just don't. I love what we do, but they don't do it for anybody. It's funny, isn't it? I love how we help people. But they've been on no sales and closed anything for the last 6 months. So how can they love people? That's words. Just talking, right? Phase 1. Phase 2. What time we end this? Get ready. Oh, I got 12:35. Okay, all right. So let me close that because I want to. I got a piece of it. Huh? As far as having somebody watch. Oh yeah. Where was I going with that? Support. Not being important by yourself. Having people watch you. Oh no, yeah, that's what I got. Okay. Here's the. It's when you go on a point with somebody and they close a piece of business and everybody says, "Hey, you're great, you're great." The worst thing they can say to you is, "You're great."
Best thing
Okay, now I want you to be great, but that's not what you want to hear people say. Because if you're great, they think they got to be you, and you've been at it for 5 years,
That's right.
10 years, 15 years. I want them to think so they get to 75%, like now.
That's right.
So that's not good. It might feel good, but then you realize, now they're comparing. I don't need them. They're their own person. But the other side of it is, if when you're doing the you've done the presentation, you set the appointment, all those things are important. All those things matter. But when you leave that appointment and you're with that new greenie, I know it's on Zoom, so you turn it off, turn it back on, which is that. But when you're with that person, here's the most important thing you can find out. What did you learn and what did I say?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
What you learn? Oh, I learned. Okay, great. What I said this, then what I say after that. Because they don't get any of that. Are you with me? So what they think is, and so because I've got to start teaching them super early to do what? Not just listen, copy, and say it out of their mouth. It's because whatever they say out of their mouth is their confidence. What I say to them is giving them, it's two different confidences. So it's because by the second appointment, they should be better than the first, right? Them. I know how to do it. So how would they get better? They say better things back to me. Because the more they learn and know they learn, the more confident they are and the more they'll feel good about it. You follow me? Because everybody thinks it's a sale. Sure, you got to get compensated. It helps the family. It's better for the family. And we make a few bucks, but we help the family. That's great. But that interaction at the end, people just go right past that. Oh, it's great. I'll call you tomorrow. No. Lock it in now. That they can figure this out. It doesn't take hours. Just 15 minutes after the meeting. So it's really the meeting after the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That you're figuring out what they know and what they heard. So now I got to adjust that so next time they hear better. And also it's very important that they know what? That I'm asking them. It's like how well would most people do on finals if there was no pretest? Quiz. How well would people do with no quizzes? Because as soon as you do a quiz, what do you know? I don't know shit. Right? That's what you know. Because you think you know, we're listening, I heard all that, I got it all, and then you realize, wait a minute, I got it, but it ain't, I can get hit, but it's not coming out of my mouth. Problem. That's how you solve it, because everything you're doing is duplication, transfer, duplicate, transfer, duplicate, transfer. That's how you get overrides, that's how you get big, that's how you get wealthy. That's how it works. And so, and then ultimately, if I do that right at district to district, and then I get to division, I start to copy that, and then, like when they start training people, you got people that train people. They say, if you're not calling the people that were trained up, and you're a vice president, you're missing it. It's not what the trainee says he did or she did with the person. It's what the person says they got done. Mm-hmm. So you call the trainee and say, how'd it go? What'd you learn? Hey, what did they say when you said that? And then, I didn't know any of that. Bingo, we got to adjust that. We got a flaw, we got a hole in our system. We can change that. And then division, regional. See, somewhere around division and regional, guess what they should start thinking about doing? Going full time. Why? Because they're competent. They're making money. They know how to do it. And a real part-time person, like I said, no time, spare time, part-time person has a schedule. If you work any place part-time, do you have a schedule? Does anybody pay you if you don't fill out the schedule at your part-time Best Buy?
Nope.
Seriously. Does anybody pay you?
No.
If you're supposed to be at a meeting, you don't show, what are you? No longer working for the company. Now, we don't fire them. I should be working with them, right? Because they're not working with it. These are things that you can learn quick about people. But bottom line is that from the newbie getting through the spare time, no time, getting to people who are part-time and getting them a schedule, and if they can learn at 8 to 10 hours, that's what a schedule is. What are you doing these 8 to 10 hours? I'm part-time at Primerica. Awesome. Show me your calendar, what you did the last 8 to 10 hours, last week. Because if you did nothing, then you can't be what? Part-time.
Part-time.
Don't confuse it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then ultimately, what does that allow you to do? There's no shot that you're going to produce successful vice presidents. You're also going to have people, what? What's my philosophy? Making money, and what are they also going to be able to do? Great replacement. It's over. You can build wealth, a dynasty. It just doesn't. It doesn't stop. How do I know that? Because when I figured out in 1988, by 1991, I went from a $20,000 base shop to $250,000 in premium every month. Why? Because my guys are much better in sales. We got a little bit better, but guess what we got more of? People that were competent enough to go do it. Not magic. Did I see that at 20? No, but I saw what people were doing, and I said, okay, that's how they did it. So don't overthink it. Okay. So anyway, short time, but listen, Lisa did an amazing job in there. And if I was going to draw a circle, let's just visualize this, a circle, and then another circle, and then another circle. So there's 3 circles inside a circle, right? The first circle that everybody talks about is what? You with me? It's on the board. It's what important. Like, what do you guys do? What do you do? I help you find all that. Yes. The next one is in that second circle. It's like a dartboard. Think of it is how. How do you do it? Which is we go out and help people with your referrals. We teach. That's good, right? Where's the most points on the dartboard?
In the center.
Bullseye. Okay. The most important ones. You got what, how, why. Every person you speak that moves you, they're very in tune with their why. Their why keeps them going. Would you agree with her, Lisa just talking? Is that not true?
True.
But here's the thing, it's Lisa's why. So you can't borrow her why, but you got to know that you better have your why at the same level of intensity. Okay, I can't copy her why, she can't copy my why, but I can copy the feeling of my why. And then that's what you tap into with people, okay? So when we bring people around you, you get around the leaders, they're competent. They know what they're doing. They know, Ben, he knows, but I guarantee Ben Shepherd would not be here if his why was not really strong to be somebody, do great things for his family. You agree with me on that? Yeah. So what, how, I'm into it. The why, that's where it all changes. And so you listen to a person like Lisa or speaker, and you say, wow, am I as focused and excited about mine? Okay, I can change that. And that's what then you go do that, right? But it's great to see people. I mean, I need it, because in my environment, I never saw people that talk like Lisa. Like was excited, fired up, I never saw those people. Now, the minute I saw them, I said, damn, I like that. Close thing with sports, right? And so, Lisa, I appreciate you so much. I mean, your story, what you're doing, there's no doubt that you've changed people's lives in there. I know that. And I would like you to talk about things that exactly like this your full-time job. I mean, I don't care what you say. If you can get them to quit, please do it. Seriously. If somebody can get your people to quit, they're going to quit. So please give her a great hand for amazing.
Quit on a daily. You know, Bruce, I was listening to you, and the one thing I was saying is that it is so important to have a truth teller in your life. And I look at some people sometimes, and I look at how they act, and I say the issue with that individual is that they don't have a truth teller in their life. That coaching right there, like that's what I miss. Because I could sit and listen to that all day long. Like, after all of the fluff After all of the shopping, you gotta have somebody that'll sit down and look at you and say, this is what it is. And one of the things in my office is that if you come to talk to me and you shut the door, then you've given me permission to get real with you. So one time I went to talk to Bruce. So I said, Bruce, I don't know why my number's not up. I have some great people. He said, you don't have no great people. He said, you have people that you like. You fellowship with them. Y'all around the same age. Your children play together. He said, but they ain't great because you don't have great numbers. Wow. He said, it's all emotional. And high emotions equal low intelligence.
Wow.
And so this is a business. And you running it like it's a playground. You just here to have fun and y'all in the sand pit together having fun, and then y'all say praise the Lord and y'all excited, then y'all go out to eat. So one of the things I say to my organization in the locker room is that if you're not talking numbers, then you're gossiping. God believes in numbers. He made a book of numbers. Numbers mean something. Numbers represent growth, increase. Numbers represent change. And so what's happening in our meetings is that we have gotten so afraid to offend people that we're not really having coaching sessions anymore. And that's what I miss about the old days, because now it seems like the new people that came in and they are afraid to work. They walk in a spirit of offense. If somebody correct them, they walking around pissed off with folks. And I make it very clear to my organization is that I am not here to be your friend. I really don't have any more time to entertain new friendships. It requires time. So I'm not here to be your friend. I am here to be your leader, your coach. The purpose of a therapist, and you said that to me, Bruce, when I sat in your office, you said, somebody sat at your desk crying, and you said, hold up. The counselor down the street and the banker is around the corner. And I promise you, when they come to my office, I say, hold up. I'm telling you, you just brought back so much, right? The purpose of a therapist is to help you to get past the pain, get through the pain of your past. That's the purpose of a therapist. The purpose of a coach is to help you unpack the potential of your future. Don't get it mixed up. Don't get it mixed up. The therapist is to help you get through the pain of the past. You're sitting there and you're telling them about everything that happened to you when you was 3 and 5 and 10. People say to me, Lisa, I tell you a story all the time. I said, what's my story? They say you was a single parent, no car when you started the business. I say, that ain't my story. That's a scene in my story. I don't live there anymore. See, the thing is the thing that would take leaders out and cause you to question your opportunity and yourself is listening to crap that happened to them 10 years ago. That's not your role in their life. Your role is to be a leader, to be a coach. I like it, divisions and above meeting. Oh, that fired me up right there, boy. That's something new, because you hear districts and above, but we need to help them to understand that you went to district. My whole life is all in business, has always been about promoting districts. That's all I ever focused on. And I remember them giving the jersey used to be this ugly green jacket. And I was part of the first group to get the green jacket. And I trained 30 people to district leader to get that jacket. Because I had the mindset that when I recruited you, you was gonna quit. And you ain't never leaving me with nothing. So I'm gonna hurry up and get 3 and 6 under you, and I'm gonna be so in your family that they don't care that you gone because they love me. I'm telling you, I was so good at it. So when people left, I was still at their mama's house. You ain't leaving me with nothing. I'm gonna hurry up and get you to this. list together.
Nope.
What is going on?
Nope.
It's something about you that they feel they can say that to you, because why I always tell the team, why when I recruit people they get licensed and go to district, and when you recruit them they can't put a list together? Because I'm no nonsense. Let me help you understand what's going to take place. You're not telling me what to do, because I already know what to do. You're asking me to work for you. If I'm going to work for you, these are the requirements to have me to work for you. I am very good at what I do, and I can help you to be successful. If you have other people in your life like that, go work with them, because that's my role in your life. And anytime I'm away from my parents and Shanina and Skylar, it must be worth my time. So this is what's going to take place. You must have a 6 o'clock appointment on Wednesday. I don't want to hear about cancellations. That's none of my business. I'm going to be available for you at 6 p.m. and that means I'm not giving that spot to nobody else. So I'm expecting you to fill it. And so now I'm back out to fill. Last month I did 3 recruits and 11,000 and premium. I ain't never done that before. I ain't done that in 55 years. People used to say, I want to compete. You want to compete with personal premium? I said, no. No, I don't. I'm not looking for a bunch of people to write 20/20 personal. I'd rather have 20 people write 1 and 1 than one person do 20 and 20.
Right.
They ain't gonna be around long.
That's right.
That's chargeback hell.
Bing bang.
You don't have truth tellers in your life, and as a result of that, we're building this business wrong. I've seen people do 20,000. I'm not saying don't do it. If you're doing it field training, you're doing it the right way. If you're doing it personal and just you in the field, you're doing it the wrong way. I just thought about what Bruce just said. If you're on an appointment and nobody's witnessing you doing that appointment, go bang your head, cut your nose off, jump in the pool and die. That's how I heard it. So, and let me tell you, it corrected me because I was on an appointment yesterday and I hung up and I said, damn, I'm good. And I had nobody to witness that. I closed both husband and wife. I pulled $100,000 from a previous 401k. I did maxed out both of their Roth IRAs. I did all of that. Nobody saw me perform. And man, did I perform. That's crazy stuff. Bruce, I didn't come here for you to be talking about me in front of me. Anybody feel like that? Like he talking about you? Like, God, why you tell him my secret? You know what I'm saying? But one of the things is that when we get on the calls, we're going to talk numbers. And we need to understand this. I'm not prefacing every meeting with I care about you, I love you, and I want the best for you. My role in your life is to correct you, protect you, and direct you. That's my role in your life. My role is not to be your therapist and not to be your counselor and not to be your best friend. Although I have some wonderful friendships, Angela is a regional leader in my base shop. We have an amazing friendship. She's like my sister, but my first position in her life is coach. And she never get it twisted. You got what I'm saying? You gotta understand the role of the people need to understand your role in their life.